Due to its unpredictable behavior and nuclear aspirations, North Korea, also known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, has long been a cause of concern for the international community. North Korea has developed a number of military strategies throughout the years, raising questions about its goals. In light of this, the subject of our discussion today is why North Korea is preparing for an offensive war. It is crucial to take into account the historical context in order to comprehend how North Korea is currently getting ready for an offensive conflict. With a heavily militarized border dividing North and South Korea, the Korean peninsula has been split for more than 7 decades. The two Koreas are still formally at war as a result of the ceasefire that ended the Korean War, 1950-1953, rather than a peace treaty. The ongoing tension and occasional violent outbursts are a result of this unresolved conflict. Under the direction of Kim Jong-un, who took over as leader in 2011 following the passing of his father, Kim Jong-il, North Korea's preparations for an offensive conflict have stepped up. North Korea is now a powerful military force in the region because of Kim Jong-un's policy of military modernization and nuclear expansion. There are worries that North Korea might be gearing up for an offensive conflict as a result of this shift in concentration. The fact that North Korea is developing nuclear weapons is one of the main factors driving its offensive war preparations. North Korea has conducted a number of nuclear tests and has a variety of ballistic missile carriers that can transport nuclear bombs. As a means of intimidation against future enemies, North Korea's development of nuclear weapons is important, but it also raises questions about its goals. The disputes in the country's region have an impact on North Korea's plans for an offensive war. Both the United States and South Korea perceive a severe threat to the country's ability to maintain its current government. The presence of American military personnel in South Korea and the yearly joint military exercises that the two nations hold exacerbate North Korea's security worries. North Korea has attempted to counter this by enhancing its military strength in an effort to frighten its enemies. The international community has imposed severe economic sanctions on North Korea, largely under the leadership of the United Nations and the US. The North Korean Authority is looking for alternate ways to accomplish its goals, including using military brinkmanship, as a result of the crushing impact that these measures have had on the country's economy. The requirement for authority and control by the regime is said to be the internal driving force behind North Korea's preparations for an offensive conflict. The military first, or Songun, strategy of the North Korean government places a higher priority on the military than on other economic sectors. In order to keep the armed forces loyal and tighten its hold on power, the leadership emphasizes its military power. The propaganda and beliefs of the leadership also serve as a driving force behind North Korea's aggressive military preparations. North Korea is regularly portrayed in the state-run media as a brave protector of its independence against foreign aggressors, promoting the idea of a final showdown with its enemies. This story serves to support the idea that maintaining military readiness is crucial for a country's survival. The militaries of South Korea and the United States have closely watched North Korea's preparations, and they have responded with their own military drills and strategic deployments. These deeds have increased North Korean suspicion and contributed to an upward spiral of tension. International diplomatic efforts to reach an agreement with North Korea haven't always been successful. The six-party talks and other negotiations have not succeeded in reaching a binding agreement. North Korea has occasionally participated in negotiations, but it has been unwilling to make meaningful compromises about its nuclear program. In the North Korean crisis, China is vital. China has the capacity to have a substantial impact on Pyongyang's behavior as the country that provides the majority of North Korea's economic support and diplomatic protection. China's strategy, on the other hand, has been characterized by a careful balancing act, supporting sanctions but continuing to offer some assistance to its partner North Korea. Even though conversations frequently center on North Korea's military readiness and nuclear aspirations, it's critical to keep in mind the humanitarian crises there. The military has been given priority by the state at the expense of the welfare of its people, which has resulted in food shortages, violations of human rights, and a shortage of necessities. The complicated interaction of historical, geopolitical, and domestic forces is what motivates North Korea's preparations for an offensive conflict. The regime's nuclear ambitions, regional rivalries, economic sanctions, and propaganda efforts all have an impact on how it prepares for war. Diplomatic efforts must continue with a focus on addressing the underlying reasons for North Korea's militarism and improving the humanitarian situation for the North Korean people in order to lower tensions and advance peace on the Korean peninsula. It is crucial to seek peaceful communication and diplomacy in order to prevent a potentially disastrous confrontation in the region, even while the path to resolution remains difficult. That is all from us today. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Take care until next time.